Hello. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. Please share my channel. Please comment whether you agree with me or not. Thank you for being here. I love having you here. So let's just get started. I'm on my way home from work. Again, it seems like it's been easier for me to do videos when I'm on my way home. I'm a little bit out of sorts because I'm out of the routine I was in. I used to just get up in the morning, I would think certain things and just couldn't wait to share them with you as soon as I get on the road on the way to work. And now my drive is different, so I just don't have the same capacity to be able to do the videos in the morning. However, my wheels are always turning. I always have thoughts going on, and I was thinking about this at lunch today actually, and looking forward to sharing it with you. So things are happening right now, and I just kind of wanted to share in real time what's going on in the process of the decision that I made to leave this wonderful company that I have loved for a year and 5 months. It's hard for me to even say that, but I have a week left here, and I'm going to be moving on. I will, as things progress and as I go, I don't want to prematurely tell you everything that's happening because the first part of it is not quite, I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to begin yet, but I'll know more as I go and I'll share it with you. But as far as the decision that I made, this is what I wanted to talk about today. In all this, I don't know, learning about, how our thoughts can affect things, and I don't know if you can hear that or not. I have a car that's in front of me that seems to have mufflers, really loud. But anyway, I've been learning for a really long time, and I've been very interested in the power of our thoughts and the power of our intentions, and the way that, when we decide to move forward or we decide to do something, things open up for us, and life tends to kind of open up in a direction that we either consciously or subconsciously are thinking that we'd either like it to open up, or sometimes it's subconscious and we don't even realize that these are intentions that we have. But life just tends to bring us certain things that come about. When I made the decision a few weeks ago, I made the decision to leave this job and start in a different position. It's sending me on a whole new chapter of my life. It's going to be very different. And up until that point, when I made the decision that I was going to leave here, everything was going along status quo. Everything was just the way it always is. Everybody was in place. All the people, the familiar faces and the people that I knew at work, everybody was there, and it was all just very familiar, and life was just cruising along. And once I made this decision and I decided that I'm going to start something else and I'm going to be somewhere else, it's really strange what happened. After I made that decision, everything just kind of started to become different. And I don't know how else to explain that. It just started to be different. There are people who I was used to seeing every day, and they have left. There are processes that were in place that I was very used to and very familiar with, and they are changing. It's kind of like nothing was changing really up until the point where I decided I'm going to go somewhere else. And I don't really want to say it's falling apart. The company isn't falling apart. Don't get me wrong. This is a stable company, and they're flying along just fine. In fact, they're hiring. They're very, successful. Nothing is going wrong with the company. But it's almost like everything in my perception, it's almost like things are starting to crumble. And when I say crumble, I don't mean fall apart. I don't mean the company is falling apart. I I just mean that my own little personal space and all the things I'm familiar with and all the things that gave me comfort and all of the things that had to do with, you know, so much joy that I was having in this company, everything for me just appears to be crumbling. And by that I mean, like I said, some people have left. When I used to get into the office and sit down and get on my phone, it was just like things would just go. Everything went into place. Calls would come in and I would be, you know, connecting with people on the phone. Things were just going really smoothly. And my ability to do my job hasn't changed, but it's almost like I haven't been getting as many people answering the phone for some reason. That's nothing I can control. I mean, I get on every day and take the same number of calls. And, you know, I used to talk to a certain number of people, and it almost seems like not nearly as many people are even answering. So it feels almost like my life, as I see it, as I perceive my life, it almost feels like my life is saying, okay, we understand that you are going somewhere else. We're releasing the attachment that you have to the now. We're releasing the attachment you have to what's current and what you're used to. And you're being, you know, released from that. And it's almost like God or life is basically saying, you know, you have decided not to hold on to this. So we're going to arrange it so that you are going to let go, whether you like it or not at this point. Like, it's so strange because I still really, really care about my team and the people who are still there. And, you know, I still love the company and everything about it. But bit by bit, it's almost like little things are just kind of breaking down that are outside of my control. And I feel like I'm being released. And I don't know if any of you have ever gone through anything like that, where you've made a decision to make a change in your life, and then it feels like the place that you are in, where you've been comfortable, suddenly starts to become, or even over time starts to become less and less comfortable. Somebody, a long time ago, Delatoro McNeil, I think I've mentioned him before, he wrote a book called Caught Between a Dream and a Job, Caught Between a Job and a Dream, or A Dream and a Job. It's a really good book, and it helps people who are in the 9-to-5 and want to be entrepreneurs, or who want to do something, you know, different with their lives, and they don't know how to migrate from the 9-to-5 into, you know, the freedom of entrepreneurship. So it's a really good book by Delatoro McNeil. But I took his workshop one time. It was a 3-day boot camp, and it was to learn how to be a public speaker. And it was very, very, very beneficial for me because I've never been afraid to speak, but it helped me so much because I learned a lot about life in general and about how things work in life. And he had mentioned something back then that I never forgot. I took a lot of gems from that workshop. I'm not a public speaker, and I don't have ambitions to be on a stage, you know, with equipment and speaking all over the world, but I did really get a lot of personal things out of that helped me in my life. It really helped me gain a lot of confidence. And what he said was, when you are ready to fly the nest, when eagles will have their eaglet, and when it comes out of the shell and it's growing up, you know, the parents will bring back fish and they'll feed the eaglet. But when the eaglet is ready to fly, it doesn't necessarily just get up out of the nest and decide for itself, hey, it's time for me to take off. It has to be kind of coaxed out of the nest. It's been there, it's been fed, everything's been done for the little eaglet, and it's not going to leave its comfort zone all by itself. It doesn't just decide to go fly. So what happens is, the parents bring in, you know, they make their nest out of, you know, twigs and sticks and straw and grass and things that they can find around. but they start to bring in little things that are kind of pokey, like sticks that'll poke up a little bit, and things that aren't soft, and things that aren't comfortable, and the eaglet will start to become uncomfortable in the nest. I don't know if this is actually a true story. I don't know if I've ever looked it up, but I think it is. I'm not sure, but they say that the eagle parents will bring all in these little sticks and twigs and things that'll make the eaglet uncomfortable, and that little eaglet won't want to be in the nest because it's pinchy and it's poking them, and it's so they'll want to get out of their comfort zone. Now they're naturally developing their wings, and they're naturally developing the skills and the ability to fly. They don't know yet that they can fly, but how else to get them out of the nest but to, you know, create a nest filled with little pokey sticks so that eaglet wants to get out of the nest and on its way. And in that workshop, Del Toro equated that to people. You know, we might want to do something different. We might want to fly. We might want to get on our way. And so we will sometimes want to stay in our comfort zone. We'll just, that was my son, they waved at me. Sometimes we'll want to stay in our comfort zone, and we really want to get out there, but we're not ready to leave that comfort zone yet. So I believe that God and life will create little pokey twigs and little things that are just, you know, I'm just don't really want to be here now because this is poking me and that's jabbing me. And so it will kind of help us to want to get up and on our way. And I wonder if that kind of thing might be happening. And maybe that does happen when we decide that we want to go somewhere else or do something else, or when we decide that we want to, you know, fly and go off into our life, you know, and into a different chapter. Maybe we need a little bit of coaxing to get out of the place where we've been comfortable for so long. So I found that interesting, but I've just been observing lately. It really hit me. You know, there are a few people that I was, you know, very close with, and they have just left, you know, and I know that in a kind of company where I work, people come and they go, and that's true. But there were some people that had some longevity there. They had been there for quite a while, and they're gone. And so it's been really weird, and especially on the phones, how it doesn't seem like as many people are answering. That's something nobody can control. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. I found it to be kind of fascinating. It's not bothering me because I know that I am leaving, and you know, there will be things that I will definitely miss. There will especially be people that I will so miss, and I have to admit that a part of me sometimes, you know, I gave my 2 weeks notice, so it's a little hard to make a decision and then work there for 2 whole weeks knowing that I'm going to be leaving. It's very bittersweet. And there have been times when I've been sitting in a meeting with my team, or, you know, hanging out or talking to somebody, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Why am I leaving here? I love it here so much. I love these people. And it almost makes me want to turn around and say, no, I changed my mind. I want to stay. But I know that where I'm going is where I, you know, want to be. I know that there are going to be a lot of joys and a lot of things created where I'm headed. And so it is helpful for me to have a little nudge. And it seems like God has given me that. So if you've ever experienced anything like that, let me know in the comments. If you have anything to share, please let me know. So thanks again for being here. That's all I've got for today. I'm going to get in the house and grab a bite to eat. And my roommate and I are going to go furniture shopping. My son just bought a house here, and I'm staying and helping him decorate. So we're going to go find some living room furniture. But I hope you are all having a great day, and I will see you next time.